All is well, but in fact, the fact of the matter is that there is increasing population of people trooping to Abuja. And Abuja can only be safe when we do the needful of exposing the hideout of criminals. So 2 weeks ago, I saw demolition of shanty buildings, and I want to commend the minister for that, because criminals, they take that as a hideout for themselves. So we are going to do the needful by inspecting all those areas and calling the attention of the executive. Each time we have cause to move out, we call the head of the department responsible for it so that they go with us. So what the issues we will be addressing is complementing the effort and calling the attention to the needs and the aspiration, the desire of the people of the city. Like I told you about our completed buildings, and there are thousands in Abuja that nobody is living. Now the question we want to ask is, if these buildings will be left unoccupied, then the owners should be ready to pay property tax. We are going to work towards property tax to take from the rich to be able to save the poor. So if people have built houses and nobody is occupying them, we'll find out why these houses have not been occupied, and we'll call the attention of government to lock them up, so that criminals do not take charge, so that it doesn't become a deal for kidnappers. So these properties that are completed, that are not occupied, what we're going to do is to put in place measures that will compel them to start paying taxes, council tax, so that we can use the money to develop the city. We will not ask people not to build, but once you are built and what you are charging is beyond the reach of an average person in the city, then you start paying property tax. So these are some of the things this committee will be doing. We are going to be a working committee within the shortest possible time. It is not how long that matters, but it is how well. And we are all determined to make a difference so that this city will be a city that all of us will be proud of. But to clarify myself again, I'm telling you, ours is to complement the effort of the executive by calling the attentions of the executive to those areas which they may not see the way we are going to see them, and we are going to put in the legislation that is required to make Abuja safe and good for both the rich and those of us who are still in the struggling class. So effort will be made to put all this in place. The meeting today, after this talk, will be between me and my colleagues, so that we all have an idea of and fertilization of ideas, discuss what I think we should pursue. So they put in their inputs, and together we arrive at the agenda for the committee. But the important for 2023. But the important thing is, because we have two budgets in our hands, we're going to set out as of next week to look at those areas that the executive will be required to take actions. We are going to have interactions with head of agencies of the FCT. So we will meet them one-on-one, and together with them we'll visit their areas of assignment to look at those shortcomings so that they can improve better. Then the contractors handling projects in Abuja, the FCT in general, we're going to have an interface with them. I recall when I was chairman FCT my second term, 2014 or thereabout, 2007, we had interface with contractors, and that assisted the executive greatly. We had interface with them. We got to know their challenges. We want to see what are the hindrances making them unable to complete the project. Where it is money that are not much, we have to call the attention of the executive, because not everything that the executive can see. There are obstacles, getting the minister himself to get the true position of the project. So when we go out, we see those projects, when we call the contractors, we now send a memo to the minister and follow it up. This is what we are supposed to do, and I can show you this is what we are going to do. We will improve upon all that we have met in FCT. We will try to complement the effort so that there's improvement in security, there's improvement in infrastructure facilities, there's improvement in making Nigerians to have access to to have affordable apartment of their own. This city will not be just for the rich people. We'll make sure this city is available for all classes of Nigerians to be able to have access and to be able to have a roof over their heads. We call it help to make sure security is better than where we have met it. All these shanty areas that I know before now, like Gishiri, I went to Gishiri some 3 weeks ago. I ran away there in the night. I just went on my own to just see how it looks like. All this cannot be known entirely to the executive. So with my colleagues, we try to move out, and we need the support of the media when we are going, for you to see that it's a service to our fatherland. We want this city to be a city everybody will be proud of. Finally, when we went on oversight, I'm sure some of our colleagues in the media who were with us, you see that there are remarkable achievements in the infrastructural facility, especially at the outskirts of where you have people residing. They say you move out, you will not see those things. They have tried within the available resources. But I must say on the final note that when I asked the clerk of the Senate, of the FCT, and I was asking him about the capital vote for FCT last year and this year, I think the federal government must realize that there is need to give Abuja enough funding, to give a city like FCT 27 billion.
12.9 now.
How much?
12.9.
12.9 billion. I mean, is that for a local government? I think the federal government must take Abuja more seriously, because the security challenges confronting Abuja today, and many Nigerians are trooping to Abuja. The insecurity across the length and breadth of this nation is forcing Nigerians to see Abuja as the safe haven.